TEDxRiverton, what's really good? Okay, I like the energy. Well, once again, I am Soul Cole of Truly Versatile Entertainment Incorporated, and I'm here today to talk with you all. Actually, we are going to talk together about this keyword opportunity. Now, you've heard opportunity thrown around a lot already, but I'm here to talk about specifically the dichotomy of receiving opportunity as well as giving opportunity, the yin and yang, if you will, of how they work together, okay? Because my own personal and professional life, as it has been so far, has become devoted to trying to provide as many opportunities as I can for as many as I can in and around me and in my world, both, like I said, personally and professionally. Now, our story begins in the late 80s and into the 90s, and I know for some of you looking at me going, his story begins in the 80s and 90s? Yes, it does. At a place nestled in the woods of Apopka, Florida, a summer camp called Wee-Wah. It's fun to say. Everybody say it with me one time. Ready? Wee-Wah. Well, that was enough of you anyway. I started out as a camp kid, like many, going to a summer camp, having amazing opportunities presented to me to learn new things, new activities, meet new people, try new sports, try all kinds of things I had never done before. And of course, forging lifelong friendships, some that still last to today. And I appreciate all those opportunities looking back at them now as an adult, but after years and years of going to this camp, the one thing I always took away from it when I would leave at the end of those times each summer was, how in the world were these adults who work there, the staff of this particular summer camp, always so happy, so beamingly happy all the time, even when some of these kids would act so bad? Not me, of course. But I took that with me after the point where I reached an age where I wasn't going to summer camp anymore in my summers. I had much greater things on my mind, ladies, getting in trouble, therefore having to get jobs because I was getting in trouble, and my parents would attest for that, so would my sister. But I decided to go back to that particular place because I wanted to see if I could experience that same thing. Why was it that they were so happy? So I went back and I taught several things, most regular camp activities, things like basketball, archery, canoeing, but I became specialized in two things, and those two things were high ropes course and water skiing. Now, some of you who have children, especially young children, would say, I'm not putting my child in a camp where they're going to be strung up 40 or 50 feet in the air to try to complete an obstacle course. They have to climb a wall just to get there, and then they have to throw themselves off of this wall down maybe 100-yard zip line to get down? No. My 12 or 13-year-old child, I think not. Or I don't want them bobbing in the water with two planks attached to their feet only to be yanked by an outboard motor and dragged around a lake. Well, the reason I'm telling you all this is because I realized why those staff were so happy. Because we were being given the opportunity to teach these kids new physical skills in these adventurous and amazing activities, but more than that, we were being given the opportunity to teach them an increase in their inner strength, the ability to build courage, to develop their self-esteem, because I can't express to you enough how much it lingers with me to this day. The look on a young child's face, a 12-year-old, a 13-year-old, 14-year-old, when they finally, after days, a week, weeks of crying, telling you, I can't do this, I'll never be able to do this, it's terrifying, I can't. And then they finally do, and they finally achieve it. That radiant beam of positive energy that comes out of them is something that is so heartwarming that you can't help but to think, wow, this is a job? And that was the most amazing thing to me. So it was a double whammy because I had the opportunity to teach these kids amazing things, the opportunity to feel fulfillment from seeing that beam out of them when they finally accomplished something you've been trying to help them with, they were so terrified of. But at the same time, they were giving me the opportunity to realize for the first time in my life that you could view work not as another four-letter word. No, but as a privilege, a joy. They showed me that I could view work not as tedious, but as righteous. And from that point on, my whole life's ambitions changed, my professional ambitions. I said, I have to find a way for the rest of my life to professionally do for others. So 15 years old, 16 years old, both of those summers I spent doing exactly that. And then, after that, at the age of 17, I was all of a sudden uprooted out of Florida, and my entire life changed because our family was uprooted to Paris, France. So come with me, if you will. We're going to travel around the world together just for a minute or two. We went all the way from Florida to Paris, France. L'île de Paris. Oui, tu vois? Très belle, hein? And we went there for the advancement of my amazing mother's culinary career. And there, my eyes were, for the first time, truly opened to how vast the world was, more than just these United States of America. New peoples, new foods, new music, new cultures, everything that I hadn't seen, and it was a revelation. I went to the International School of Paris for my senior year of high school. Who can say that? But one of the greatest things I learned was about the United Nations and the great work they do, the opportunities that they provide through their various programs for people who are in such dire need of so many things. And there was an organization at this school called MUN, which stands for Model United Nations. Maybe some of you have heard of it. There are chapters of Model United Nations in schools all over the U.S. The difference is, in these chapters, and I've seen this firsthand from the high school I went to in Florida, students in Model United Nations are severely ridiculed. And in this current climate of bullying being so pervasive amongst kids, MUN attendees here in the United States in those chapters and those schools are looked at as nerds and dorks and geeks. No, I'm telling you, these are the young American students who have a more global mind already. But I had to go halfway around the world to realize that, to gain my own global perspective. Well, I can tell you firsthand, being a member of that MUN chapter provided me the opportunity to not only speak and address the General Assembly at The Hague, yes, in the Netherlands, which led to a position with UNESCO, better known as the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, as a messenger of peace for their peace initiative through 1999 to 2000. It also provided me, Paris, I should say, provided me my first DJ gig. Ooh, I got a taste for that. Been entertaining my whole life, but I had no idea that I could do it internationally without even feeling challenged at it. So I wasn't leaving Europe. The family left after that year, went back to the US, leaving me behind. I decided to then attend Florida State University in London. I did 3/4 of my associate's degree in London through Florida State. There, I realized that now I'm going to have to gain the knowledge I need, because I've realized now I have to work for the world somehow. I don't want to just now work to do for others. I want to work for the world somehow, because that's the way to provide the most opportunity from the biggest platform. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go to college internationally to start with, then head back home to the US. I want to do whatever it takes to study, whatever it takes to become an ambassador, because then I could really provide opportunities to the world. So having finished 3/4 of my associate's degree and having also got my first big gig on stage singing, again, following my entertainment dreams, I came back, finished up my associate's degree at Florida State in Tallahassee, went from there to American University, where I got a double major bachelor's in international affairs, and my focuses were international peace and conflict resolution and international development, specifically third world development, while at the same time co-hosting a radio show with my roommate, which led to an album that we released, which led to my first solo venture into music. So I'm doing it. The plan is all coming together. I'm studying exactly what I need to become an ambassador, to provide opportunities for people in the world while still pursuing my entertainment dreams on the side. Well, now I've realized the plan is morphing. How about if I could take my entertainment dreams, take them full stream, and if I could gain just enough notoriety in the entertainment industry, I could parlay that into a goodwill ambassador position with the UN. I could be the next Bono, all right? Or Angelina Jolie, or any of these people who have gained enough fame in the entertainment world to use that to then work for the United Nations, travel around the world, speak on things that they want to see change in to provide opportunities for others. So I said, okay, how can I do that? So in August of 2004, packed up my whole life in my car, drove across the country. I arrived in Los Angeles, not knowing a single person, not having any paying job, nowhere to live, and like I said, everything I have is in this little four-door sedan. So I'm working multiple part-time jobs in LA while performing wherever I can. Any 15, 20 minutes I can get on stage, anywhere I can DJ, anywhere I can get on stage and do my own music. And I get one part-time job where I'm all of a sudden surrounded by celebrities, big names, A-listers. I'm calling home all the time, guess who I met last night? Guess who I met? I'm figuring the fame part is well on its way to working out. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that that job was mostly parking their cars and carrying their bags inside the hotel or up to their room, so that didn't really pan out. But what did is in early 2005, I get my first offer for my first radio spot. And that radio spot, it blew my mind. It's where the name Soul Cole came from. They said, you got to come up with a clever moniker, something people are going to remember, it's going to pop on the air, and that's where Soul Cole came from. Now, this radio spot was every week on Tuesdays. I thought, wow, a weekly spot that they're offering me right off the bat. This weekly spot was half an hour at 3:30 a.m. on Tuesdays. You know who's listening to the radio at 3:30 a.m. on a Tuesday? Like Keith Sweat, the R&B legend says, nobody, nobody, baby. Yeah, no. Zero creative control. You will read these ads. You will play these songs. Well, I kept grinding at it, but a 3:30 a.m. spot is not paying any bills, obviously. You've got to get another job. And I said, I'm starting to lose sight of my ambitions to provide opportunities, plus I really miss working with young people. Along comes an organization called After School All-Stars Los Angeles. One of the greatest after-school programs, I would say arguably in the country. Began in Los Angeles, now is all over the country, nationwide. And if you saw the NBA All-Star game this year, they were who LeBron James' team was playing for. And I got a job running one of the school locations. Now I'm digesting the idea of being able to provide opportunities once again, full steam ahead. And I'll always credit them as giving me my first management position ever. Because I, for the first time, had the ability to interview, hire, and fire whoever I wanted. So I put together a great team, and we taught arts, education. We had homework help every day, sports, all kinds of things, opportunities for these kids that they had never seen before because the vast majority of all the school sites we provided were all either inner city schools or schools that had less fortunate students bust in to those locations. So all the trips we took them on, all the experiences that we showed them, and all the activities we had for them every day, most of them had never done. So once again, dichotomy of receiving opportunities and giving, I was able to give my staff the opportunity to have not only a job, but to give them the opportunity to present new opportunities to these young people and for them to feel that same joy that I felt way back as a camp counselor when they saw their students that they work with every day achieve something new, accomplish something new. Wonderful organization. I'll always credit them. Then, as unfortunately state funding ran out for that, I was approached at the same time by another organization called Covenant House California. Covenant House California is a shelter in Hollywood, a few blocks off some of the main famous streets, Sunset Boulevard, Hollywood Boulevard. It's a shelter for homeless 18 to 21-year-olds. Most of them freshly kicked out of the foster system with nothing but a small check from the state. or they're just runaways who have nowhere to go. I was tasked to come in and completely design a music program, a comprehensive educational music program that was funded by none other than Nikki Sixx, who many would know as the famous bass player and founding member of Motley Crue. And he gave us a ton of money. And so they said, we've seen all this work you're doing with young people over here. Please come work for us. You can use all this money at your dispense. Once again, I had the opportunity to interview, to hire, and to fire whoever I wanted, teach classes all the time, every night. There was different lessons. We put together a studio on site in the facility, and it was a wonderful year and a half I spent running it, a year just to design it. And then shortly after that, my entertainment ambitions became even bigger. I had to leave them, put somebody else in charge, step away to really pursue what I'd come out there for. And then snowball effect, entertainment opportunities are blowing up all the time. I'm out performing and hosting and DJing 5-6 nights a week, collecting individual payments from all these places. And finally I said, no, I got to stop doing this. I need to just form my own company. So I did. Truly Versatile Entertainment Incorporated is born in July of 2012. I still run it and operate it now, and I have the most crack team of young up-and-coming entertainers. I provide them the opportunity to go out and entertain, light up rooms all over Los Angeles and Orange County on a weekly and nightly basis. And we have a record production division now, a video production division, as well as our live entertainment services division. I see that my time is running short, so to sum up, if you are in a management or a boss type position, make sure you provide your employees with as many opportunities as possible. Because when you give them the opportunities they need to blossom, they will be happier employees, and happier employees are better employees overall, including giving them the opportunity to fail. That's key. You must give people the opportunity to fail or they'll never grow, okay? That being said, I do need to step away. I don't want to take away from anybody else's time. I must say, TEDxRiverton, this has been an absolute blessing. Thank you for the honor and the privilege to speak to you here today. Thanks to Mandy Murray for putting together such an incredible event. And once again, please give as many opportunities as you can, and you will receive them. The dichotomy is real. The yin and yang of giving and receiving opportunities is a wonderful flow in this world, and you can be a key part of it if you invest yourself in that practice. Thank you, TEDx.